Hello learners, bonjour aux apprenants and welcome to Learn French with Likiza. Today we are going to learn 5 verbs in French related to movement and how to use them in different contexts. Let us start with sortir. Sortir can either mean to go out or to leave. Sortir is also an irregular verb, which means it does not follow the general rule of conjugation of IR verbs in French. And this is how we conjugate it in the present tense. Je sors, tu sors, il sort, elle sort, on sort, nous sortons, vous sortez, ils sortent, elles sortent. When sortir means to go out or to leave, it does not need a direct object to make sense. Let's see some sentence examples. Est-ce qu'on sort ce soir? Are we leaving tonight or this evening? Je sors. À demain, I'm leaving. See you tomorrow. In these two examples, you can see that there is no direct object, but the sentences still make sense. When sortir needs a direct object to make sense, it means to take out. For example, elle a sorti la viande qu'elle voulait cuisiner du congélateur. She took out the meat she wanted to cook from the freezer. Je sors les poubelles tous les mardis. I take out the rubbish every Tuesday. In the first example, the direct object is la viande and it answers the question, what does she take out? In the second example, the direct object is les poubelles, rubbish, and it answers the question, what do I take out every Tuesday? Pay attention to the auxiliary verb used with sortir in past tense. When sortir is used to mean to go out or to leave, the auxiliary verb used in past tense is être. For example, est-ce qu'on est sorti hier soir? Did we go out last night? Je suis sorti à 18h. I left at 6 p.m. And I'm going to explain this further when I'll be teaching on passé composé, so look out for that. When sortir is used to mean to take out, the auxiliary verb used in past tense is avoir. For example, elle a sorti la viande qu'elle voulait cuisiner du congélateur. She took out the meat she wanted to cook from the freezer. J'ai sorti les poubelles mardi dernier. I took out the rubbish last Tuesday. If you have learned something new, please hit the like button and subscribe to the channel before I continue. Aller means to go. And aller has two uses. It can either mean you are going somewhere, a place that is, or you are going to do something in the near future. And this is how we conjugate aller in the present tense. Je vais, tu vas, il va, elle va, on va, nous allons, vous allez, ils vont, elles vont. Aller is also an irregular verb. Let us see some sentence examples. Je vais au théâtre. I am going to the theater. Ils vont être en retard. They are going to get late. In the second example, futur proche, the near future tense, is used. Please note, je vais to mean I am going is wrong when it comes to using the verb aller. Instead, we use the pronoun I or the pronominal verb s'en aller to mean I am going in French. Let's see how this works. Someone can ask you, tu vas au théâtre? Are you going to the theater? And then you can respond with oui, j'y vais. Yes, I am going, with the standing for there. Yes, I'm going there in brackets. And you can refer back to my lesson on le pronom y to understand better. An informal way of saying I'm off or I'm leaving is je m'en vais. For example, je m'en vais. À demain, I'm off or I'm leaving. See you tomorrow. And you can also refer back to my lesson on le pronom on to understand better on its usage. Partir means to go away, to leave, or to depart. And it is also an irregular verb. And this is how we conjugate it in the present tense. Je pars, tu pars, il part, elle part, on part. Nous partons, vous partez, ils partent, elles partent. When partir is used with a city or a place, a preposition of place normally comes after. Let's see some sentence examples. Les enfants partent à l'école. The children are leaving for school. Le train part pour Bruxelles dans une demi-heure. The train departs for Brussels in half an hour. But in this last sentence example, no preposition of place is used because no city or place is mentioned. Ils sont partis l'année dernière. They left last year. Please note that partir can also be used on its own and still make sense. Je pars, I'm leaving. Venir means to come. It is an irregular verb and this is how we conjugate it in the present tense. Je viens, tu viens, il vient, elle vient, on vient. Nous venons, vous venez, ils viennent, elles viennent. Venir is used to talk about the action of coming to a place or an event. It can also be used to talk about origin, i.e., coming from a country. Let's see some sentence examples. Je suis venu en France quand j'étais enfant. I came to France as a child. Je viendrai à votre mariage. I will be coming to your wedding. Just to alert you, the first example is in past tense and the second example is in future tense, specifically futur simple. Venir is also used to talk about the recent past with the construction venir de, then followed by an infinitive. For example, je viens de me réveiller. I just woke up. Je viens de rencontrer mon ancien collègue en ville. I just met my former colleague in town. And finally, we have quitter. Understandably, most English-speaking learners translate quitter to quit in English, but you'll be surprised. It mostly means to leave. And you can also breathe a sigh of relief because quitter is a regular verb, which means it follows the general rule of conjugation of ER verbs. And this is how we conjugate it in the present tense. Je quitte, tu quittes, il quitte, elle quitte, on quitte, nous quittons, vous quittez, il quitte, elle quitte. You can also check out my conjugation playlist to understand better how French conjugation works. And I'm going to link all these videos I'm mentioning down my description box. Quitter can be used to mean to leave a place. For example, après avoir passé la majeure partie de ma vie en France, j'ai finalement quitté le pays à 40 ans. After spending majority of my life in France, I finally left or I eventually left the country at 40. Quitter can also be used to mean to leave a person. For example, je ne veux plus de cette relation. Je ne veux plus de cette relation. Je te quitte. I no longer want this relationship. I'm leaving you. Ouch. But what about to quit itself? Which verb would you use? The best verb to use would be arrêter, which also means to stop. So if you want to say something like, I want to quit smoking, you will say, je veux arrêter de fumer. But here is where it gets tricky. If you want to say, she quit working, you will say, elle a arrêté de travailler. But if you want to give further information as to why she quit working, you revert back to quitter. Elle a quitté son travail pour poursuivre son rêve. She quit work, or she quit working to pursue her dream, with son travail being the place. And remember, we said that quitter can be used to mean to leave a place. And that is the end of our lesson on these verbs. If you enjoyed it, please hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. Please also check out my pinned comment for information on the short French courses I offer and the various ways to support me and my work. À bientôt!